sponsored by Iwas Ruti, Manette, and Blackpack. Coming up in the headlines, women in Ghana face discrimination in land acquisition. Ghana Institution of Engineering elevates 15 engineers to fellow status. And in international news, anxiety over U.S. commercial property has been heightened by the collapse of two banks. Now the news in details. Increase women's access to land. A senior research associate at Imani Center for Policy and Education, Dennis Asari, has emphasized the need to minimize the discrimination and exclusion women face when accessing land. He was worried that after almost 3 decades of land reforms in this country, there is still a lot of exclusion and discrimination that women encounter in accessing land. Mr. Asari was speaking at an event in collaboration with Atlas Network on the benefits of women and increased access to land projects. The project forms part of a program to minimize poverty. In Ghana, women acquire land through their husbands, allocating pieces of land for or acquire communal lands through a male or elder of the community. Section 11 of the New Lands Act 2020 prohibits any act or practices that discriminate against access to land on grounds of gender. Moving on in the news, Ghana Institute of Engineering elevates 15 engineers to fellow status. 15 professional engineers have been elevated to fellow status as part of activities to mark the 53rd Annual Conference and AGM of the Ghana Institution of Engineering, GHIE, held in Takoradi. The executive director of GHIE, Engineer David Kwetianyanta, said a fellow is an engineer who makes significant contributions to the engineering profession. It can also be conferred on a non-engineer who makes significant contribution to the engineering field, which is known as an honorary fellow. Engineer Professor Elsie Ifa Kaufman of Maths and Science Quiz fame was elevated to a fellow status in MEC Agric Marine Technical Division. Engineer Nana Poku Ajiman, Director of Urban Roads Kumasi, was also elevated to a fellow status in the Civil Division. Now let's go to South Africa, where load shedding and increasingly also water supply interruptions is wreaking havoc with lives and livelihoods. Experts say investing in green buildings, however, could rescue the bottom line as much as the planet, especially with the innovative financing available to entrepreneurs. This is according to Gugu Maju, Marketing Executive General Manager at Specialist Financier for Small and Medium Enterprises Business Partners Limited, who says it is a good thing that South Africa was an early adopter of the green building movement. The Green Building Council South Africa was founded in 2007 and 2008. The Green Star SA rating system was launched, and the first certification for phase 2 of Nedbank's head office in Sandton. Even with those statistics, many entrepreneurs are still not sold on investing in green buildings. According to MSCI South Africa, Green Annual Property Index, green buildings attract and retain tenants far more effectively than their conventional counterparts. According to a 2015 Harvard-led study, workers in green, well-ventilated offices recorded a 101% increase in brain function scores, whereas employees who work in offices with windows sleep an average of 46 minutes more per night. Please stay with us as we go for a short break. We'll be right back. welcome back from the break. Now, in U.S., anxiety over U.S. commercial property has been heightened by the collapse of two banks. Anxiety over U.S. commercial property has been heightened by the collapse of two banks, one of which, Signature Bank, was an active real estate lender. Building-related debt has been at the cause of crisis before. Lehman Brothers' purchase of apartment company Axton in 2007 was one reason for its eventual bankruptcy. The problem this time is a key real estate metric called the cap rate. Nothing to do with the hedger. This rate reflects the yield on a property comparable with the yield on a bond. The cap rate comes with dividing a property's net operating income in a given year, money from rent minus associated cost by the asset's value. Ideally, and almost always, it is higher than the rate at which the owner can raise debt to fund the purchase. For more than 10 years, the gap remained positive, even though cap rates were falling in virtually all real estate subsectors, from shopping malls to apartments. That was mostly a consequence of low interest rates. And the spread made it possible for asset prices to keep rising, even though rents, a major driver of net operating income, went going up much. As recently as 2020, the spread was as high as 3 percentage points. That's all for news. Thank you for staying with us, and a very big thank you to Ewas, Ruthie, Manette, and Blackpack for sponsoring. For more news, kindly visit our website, www.propertyexpress.org. You can also reach us on social media on Instagram, Facebook, Twitter, and LinkedIn at Property Express. This has been PE Live. My name is Nanaya Ochirebia. Have a good time.